I almost burned my hand. It's so hot. It's so good. The coffee. Really, really good this morning. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Hot Topics. It's Monday morning. I'm a little slow. Yes. How are you guys? Tell me where you are. I was just joking with the team, and I had TikTok up a little bit earlier, and I was asking them about it's summer, and I'm like, look at these. Woo! I mean, they're kind of short. Everyone's like, what do you call it? What do you say? Skies out, thighs out. Someone says, finally. Nice art. Thank you. I'm glad you like my little Richard. Yeah. Is that the saying, skies out, thighs out, right? Or is it suns out? Someone on TikTok says it's suns out, buns out. Hello, Central Florida. Hello, Louisiana on TikTok. Hello, Arizona. Don, you're a mess. Yes. Hello, New York City. I'm a mess. And I had a great weekend. I saw some friends. I saw a former colleague from CNN. We were talking about the streaming stuff, and we're both so happy that we are where we are right now. And it was just really, really great. And everyone is acknowledging. They're like, oh my gosh, your channel is doing so well. The Lemonation. And so you remember the blue hat I had on? I think I had it on Friday. I don't know, the other dark blue. Someone made me give it to them. They're like, I love this hat. And I said, you can order it. They goes, I will order it, but I want that one now. And I'm like, okay. So I had to give it to him. And then his wife wanted one and everybody. So I had to give people the website, and they're all going to. Do we have the website up for the store? But anyways, folks have been asking for it. I had this hat on, the blue hat with and if you can find it, I know it's a pain in the butt because that's not how we prepared. But yeah, go to the cap. Is that the one I have on right there? I think so, maybe on the main picture. But go to the cap. And so these are a real hit. I did not realize it. It's that hat. It's a darker blue hat right there. Is that one of my picks? So anyways, that dark blue hat, there was also, remember we had Jesse Weber on Friday, and he's like, Don, that hat speaks to me. And I have to tell everybody they can go to donlemon.com and click on merch. But let's see. So we have our merch out. People love it. They're loving it. I had the beach bag. I took it to a party this weekend. There it is. So click on that hat, Andy, and then you'll see the other one. That's the one. Oh my gosh, people love that hat. They love it because it looks like a captain of a boat hat or a golfing hat, and it's got the blue stripe. They're like, that is very well done. And they love the hats. And this woman I saw, this couple I saw this weekend, he said, I can't order any more baseball caps or any more hats because I have so many. My wife has banned me. And then she said, well, I'll give you a special dispensation for this hat. So this is the one I'm wearing, but the other one is like the crowd favorite. The other guy liked this one. He liked this one because of the yellow. But then everybody loves this dark blue hat. Like the dudes like it. You know what I'm saying? And the ladies like it too. So what are you guys doing? It's summer. We can do whatever we want. This is our channel. We can do whatever we want. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to smash, because we are live, I want you to smash the hearts or smash the likes, hit the thumbs up, right? Also, guys, don't forget to become a member. It's very important to us that you become a member because it affects the algorithm. More people this is my hair. Everyone thinks like, you have hair plugs. I do not. It affects the algorithm if you hit the thumbs up. And also the memberships keep us viable, right? And the subscriptions. And so it makes our channel more attractive and more people watch, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oh my gosh, somebody's ordering already. Thank you for your orders. I appreciate it. Someone just ordered the hat. Let me see can I shout somebody out? Let's shout the person out who just ordered the hat. It went away. Whoever orders the next one, I will do it. But anyways, I'll shout you out if I can because it pops up on the computer. Anyways, so thank you so much for joining us this morning, everyone. We have lots to talk about. I'm in a great mood. I'm going to laugh this morning because MAGA is eating itself. It's like that. What was the name of that movie? Do you guys remember that movie with the centipede? Peter, I know you know that movie. Do you remember the centipede that would like eat its own? What was that? What was it called? A human something. What was that?
Not the human centipede. Is it?
Was it a couple years ago? Was it a Human Centipede or something where it just kept eating itself? Do you guys remember that movie? He said, "Ew, yeah." It was such a gross move. Human Centipede. Okay, so gross. That's what they're doing right now. They are eating itself themselves. It is so well. Listen, it's like and I don't want to say they're eating themselves, but you know what I mean. It's crazy. It is crazy. All of these people who are like, well, we voted for him for this, and we didn't. This is not what we voted for. Yeah, this is exactly what you voted for, you dumb idiots. This is exactly what you voted for. Are you that stupid? Please tell me that. What's her name? Candace Owens can't be that stupid. Or what's his name? Okay, let's see. I'm going to try to shout this person if I get to it. View order. Let's see if I can view the order. Try to view the order. I can't do it for some reason because it's on my phone. But anyways, please tell me that all of these folks, like what's his name, who I've just begun to know, what's his name, Benny Johnson. Tell me that all of these people are not that dumb, that they didn't realize this stuff. Okay, let's see. Kathy DePrater of Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you. Ordered the blue yellow hat. I told you I was going to shout you guys out. Valerie Wood just ordered something. Betsy Lindsay just ordered. Patricia Kennedy just ordered. Oh, that was this morning, earlier this morning. That was at 1:31 in the morning. But yeah, I told you I was going to shout you guys out, and I'm doing it. Let's see who else we have on here. If we have any other folks who are in the store this morning. There is Valerie Pierce from Edmonton, Alberta. Thank you very much. Who else do we have? Anyways, I like to shout people out when they do good things. Valerie Wood, Betsy Lindsay, Trisha Kennedy. That was earlier this morning. And then there was a bunch of stuff. Anyway, so it will update. Oh, there it is. Marilyn Hayes. She did the Ground Advantage. First Class Package International. Valerie Pierce did. Laura, how do you say Laura Pialahu from Newton? Laura Pialahu Newton. Melissa Newton. Kathy DePrater. And then Maria Mans. Nicholas Rui. Thank you. Sarba Arthur. Valerie Wood, as I said. And yeah, so let's see. Thank you, guys. And I hope you enjoyed. So one day we'll have a hat day. We can all wear our hats. We'll figure it out which day it's going to be. But I really enjoy these baseball caps. I really do. I love wearing baseball caps. They're the best. So anyways, I digress. So tell me all these people are not as dumb as they are now. They're like, well, this isn't what we voted for. We're stupid. We're doing whatever. Are you kidding me? This is exactly what you voted for. It's exactly what you voted for. Were you that stupid that you didn't realize that Donald Trump was a liar? Were you that dumb that you didn't realize the person who has the most connections, other than, at least publicly, at least from what we know now in the reports, the person who had the most connections out of everyone involved in this that we know of, other than Ghislaine Maxwell, is, anybody have an answer for me? Bueller? Who is the person that has the most, if you draw like, what do you call it, a concentric circle or all that, who is connected to Jeffrey Epstein besides Ghislaine Maxwell? Anybody? Anybody? They share sort of a name with me, but they have a full name. And mine is just D-O-N. Trump. Donald Trump, as far as we know, has the most connections to Jeffrey Epstein than anybody else. And they could not figure that out before they went to the polls to vote for him. They are all of a sudden shocked and surprised that perhaps he's trying to cover something up. Now, this isn't just little old Don Lemon saying that, the person that they claim has Trump derangement syndrome. These are MAGA stands, Donald Trump stands. They're saying it. But let me just say this. And when I thought about it, I was like, maybe Rick Wilson knew something we didn't when he said, everything Trump touches dies. Jeffrey Epstein is dead. Please, guys, don't kill me. Please find the soundbite. It may be on social, or it could be on, look on Mediaite, if you get Mediaite, because it's a quick clip. It's a clip that we had on Friday because we had an exclusive and we need to tout it and pump it up. We had the exclusive with Jeffrey Epstein's brother. I would prefer the one, there's a longer one. Get me both, please. And then just let me know when you have it. But his brother was on here on this very show on Friday saying, I would not be surprised if Donald Trump is responsible for my brother's death or orchestrated it. Now, that's not, he said it, not me. Were you anybody else is here for it? Did anybody watch it? Did anybody hear that this weekend? And so Rick Wilson has said everything Trump touches, you know what? He said it back in the day. He updated it recently. And I want you to hear from Rick Wilson. And yep, I'm glad you saw Epstein's brother. That's what he said. If you guys heard, did you guys hear it? Iris heard it. Cheryl Jones heard it. Ursula Harvey heard it. Nikki Safari heard it. Nancy Charles heard it. FH313 says Epstein's brother laid it out, laid it all out. I'm just saying. Now, this unknown user is saying this. I don't know if I've ever heard this, but did you guys hear that? Maybe, I don't know.
Just died.
I don't know. Epstein did. Don, it's too early. Rochelle, come on now. We're all adults here. And I'm sure you guys heard it, right, on Friday. That's what the brother said. So this is Rick Wilson he laid it out in the beginning. He goes, everything Donald Trump touches dies, right? That's what he said. And then he updated. Here's Rick Wilson, and then we're going to get into the show. Here it is. Can't hear him.
He always has been. He destroyed the... Donald Trump is a naturally destructive creature. He always has been. He destroyed the business his father gave him. He's destroyed several of his marriages. He's bankrupted 2 casinos. He's great at destruction. Donald destroying the ability of air traffic controllers and weather forecasters and wildland firefighters to do their jobs. Phenomenal. A+, bro. But the rest of it isn't working. He promised with this insane trade war from the beginning, which will be so rich you won't know what to do with all the money you're making. And what has it delivered so far? Nothing but destruction here at home. Even if you believe that Donald Trump was going to use trade to change the behavior of other nations, it hasn't happened.
Everything Donald Trump touches, you know what? Hey, thank you, Tammy Brown in the merch store. Thank you, Teresa Malzahn in the merch store. Thank you, Phyllis Bryant. Thank you, Samuel Adams. Thank you, Sherilyn Diego in the merch store. Thank you, Tamara Rube in the merch store. Christina Moore, thank you so much. And Tammy Brown, April Ashby, Kristen Mendez, thank you all. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Let me know when we have Epstein's brother, because Epstein's brother on Friday kind of agreed, perhaps. Does it add to that narrative? We don't know. But Jeffrey Epstein is no longer with us. And the person who has the biggest connection that we know of, other than Ghislaine Maxwell, is DJT himself. And now all of a sudden, he doesn't want anybody to talk about it. Now, why is that? Why does he not want to talk about it anymore? When his folks, many of them went to the polls to vote for him because of it. Because they thought, hey, the Democrats are covering this up. I don't know why the Democrats would be covering it up since it happened. He died when Donald Trump was president. Interesting. Do we have Mark Epstein?
Not yet.
No Mark Epstein yet. Well,
just diagnosed with HIV.
what?
Sorry, I have to grab it from a site and it keeps
Mark
playing
Epstein was what? No,
It
Mark
keeps
Epstein
playing
said-
this ad, and I don't want it to go out over the air, but it just did.
Mark Epstein's going to say, no, that did not happen to me. That I did not just get diagnosed with that. That's what Mark Epstein would say. It may be easier to play the TikTok if it's easier. We can play the TikTok. That's probably easier. But anyways, yeah, so we did have him on. And I want to play it because then I want to start the show because I want you guys to realize that this is serious stuff. And these aren't just the MAGA folks, and we're going to get into the MAGA folks. But when you have a family member saying, hey, you know what? Something happened to my family member. Now, I have been speaking to him over the weekend. He has some other stuff that he wants people to know about. And he just doesn't believe it's conspiracy theories. He actually thinks that there is something amiss with all of it. Now, what do you think? You guys tell me what you think. Do you think it's gaslighting, says Tammy Hunt? Something ain't right, says Sonia. I don't know. I almost spit my coffee out from laughing, says Coffee and Dateline. Are you talking about from what Andy just did?
Okay, I have it now.
Andy, you making people spit their coffee out. Okay,
Yeah.
This is us on Friday, but this is from social media. If you have the other one, you can play the longer version. You can play it, but we should have it in our system. But anyways, go ahead. Here it is.
If Jeffrey was murdered, which I believe he was, somebody did it. So the people who are coming out with these ridiculous statements, I think, are covering up for somebody. So who are they covering up for? Bill Barr worked for the President of the United States. Kash Patel works for the President of the United States. Pam Bondi works for the President of the United States. Maybe someone should ask him what he knows.
Who do you think they're covering up for?
Who do they all work for?
They all work for Donald Trump.
We know that Jeffrey had dirt on Donald Trump. We know that. That's a fact.
And what did Jeffrey know?
Well, I don't know. He didn't tell me what he knew, but he said if he said what he knew, they'd have to cancel the election. That's a direct quote. They used to be very friendly back in the 90s. Yeah, they were good friends. I wouldn't be surprised.
You wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump was behind your brother's death? Are you saying that Donald Trump had your brother murdered, do you believe?
If that's what it was, I wouldn't be surprised.
Now, you tell me what you think about that. And that's his brother. That's his brother. Thank you, Nicole Marks. I love the lemon live glass as well. Yeah, that's his brother. Now, let's talk about the what is it? The snake eating its own tail, which is MAGA right now. And I want you to keep that in mind. Everything Trump touches dies. Then his brother saying, they're all covering up for something. His belief. They're all covering something up. What is it? I wouldn't be surprised. You heard him, right? He's not the only one that believes something's going on. As I've been saying, the Trump stands are thinking the same thing. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of these of the very same people, many of them who are in power now, most of them, as a matter of fact, who are in power now, to actually have all of this information released. And somehow now, they don't want the information. Well, they're wondering why the information has not been released. They're wondering, well, what the hell is going on? Someone says the chickens, Tara Davis says the chickens are coming home to roost on Trump. All of a sudden, he doesn't want to talk about it. Now, I'm going to set you up, class. Are you ready to learn something this morning? Are you guys ready to learn something this morning? Let me just tell you, before we learn something this morning, let me just get this in real quick, okay? And then I'm going to play, wait till you hear the people who are, what they're saying, because there was the big Turning Points USA, what do you want to call it, convention, rally, gathering this past weekend. All of the MAGA stands were there. All of the big folks were there. All of the right-wing talkers were there. All of the Trump podcast bros were there. It's a big Charlie Kirk thing. They were all out. And man, are they pissed. They're mad. So give me a second. I'm going to show it to you. Support for the Don Lemon Show today comes from Wild Alaskan. That's going to be my lunch today. As soon as I'm done, I'm going to go cut open a bag of Wild Alaskan. I'm going to throw it into the air fryer. You don't just fry on the air fryer. I'm going to throw it in there and put some veggies, and that's what I'm going to do. So if you want truly trusted seafood, when was the last time you had that? When was the last time you had truly trusted seafood that you really loved? Nutritious and sustainable. It tastes great. Wild Alaskan Company is the best way to get wild-caught, perfectly proportioned, nutrient-dense seafood delivered directly to your door. So trust me, you haven't tasted fish this good. Wild Alaskan is 100% wild-caught, never farmed. This means there are no antibiotics, no GMOs or additives, just clean, real fish that support healthy oceans and fishing communities. Their fish is frozen right off the boat, and you know what that does? That locks in the taste, texture, and nutrients like omega-3s. Wild caught from Alaska, every order supports sustainable harvesting practices, and your membership delivers flexible shipments, expert tips, and truly feel-good seafood. Okay? It's got Wild Alaskan is a wild variety of different fish that you can get to choose, and they will recommend something. They'll do a sampler pack, okay? And so it's a 100% money back guarantee if you're not completely satisfied with your first box. They're going to give you a full refund, no questions asked. So it's no risk, just high quality seafood. Not all fish are the same. Get seafood you can trust. Go to wildalaskan.com/lemon for $35 off your first box of premium wild caught seafood. That's wildalaskan.com/lemon for $35 off your first order. Thanks to the Wild Alaskan Company for sponsoring this episode. Support for the Don Lemon Show today also comes from BetterHelp, BetterHelp. Everybody's stressed out. Even though it's summer, people are still working. Workplace stress is now one of the top causes for declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce, that's worldwide, experiencing higher than normal levels of stress. So to battle stress, most of us can't wave goodbye to our work. We can't start small. We can start small, though, with a focus on wellness. And so just a little vacation in the summer, that's not going to do everything, although that is very helpful. So here's what you do. This is where BetterHelp comes in. You know, I believe in mental health, and I believe in therapy, and I believe it should be convenient, affordable, and accessible. So BetterHelp comes in with more than 30,000 therapists. They're the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally, and it works. The app rating is 4.9 out of 5. It's convenient. You can join a session with a therapist at the click of a button, helping you to fit it into your busy life. Plus, you can switch therapists at any time. It's the world's largest therapy provider. BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Now, our listeners get 10% off of their first month at betterhelp.com/donlemon. That's betterhelp.com/donlemon. Now, back to the program. All right, let me take you out into the world right now, if you're ready. You guys ready to go on this ride? Here we go. Hit the thumbs up if you're ready. Share the link with the folks if you're ready. Talk to me in the chat if you're ready. So I'm going to play you just a couple of things. And I want you to pay attention, all right? Everybody, put your coffee cup down, your diet soda, your breakfast. I wanted some grits this morning. I had them, but it was too late. I couldn't do it. Put down the bacon or the pre-lunch or whatever it is you're about to do. And watch this. Okay, roll it, Andy.
That Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. Please do not let that story go.
Who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book?
FBI.
But who? That is I mean, there's.
Oh, that's under direct control of the director of the FBI.
What the hell are the House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get the list? Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would.
This isn't about Epstein or 9/11 or JFK or RFK. It is, but it isn't. It's about a bigger thing. If you're lying about that, you're lying about everything. Who's on the Epstein tapes, folks? Who's on those tapes? Who's in those black books? Why have they been hiding it?
And this is something Donald Trump has talked about. The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. Everything's going to come out to the public. The public has a right to know. Americans have a right to know.
You're muted, Don.
A good old belly laugh. Oh my gosh. The chickens are coming home to roost. Damn it. You're right about that, Sherilyn. Look, you got to find some joy where you can find it. I usually I don't like to take, you've heard me say this, I don't like to take glee in anybody's downfall. But I'm taking glee in this because people told you, we told you so. So welcome to reality, at least for now, for some of you. Welcome to reality for some of you. But you can't, seriously, you cannot have been that dumb. You cannot have been that dumb. And these two of the people that you heard from the most there, two of them are the heads of the FBI, and the other one is the Attorney General of the United States. And they've been taught, oh my God, we're going to do the Epstein, and this, oh my gosh, he didn't just get himself. He didn't do this himself. It's got to be Bill Clinton. It's got to be Joe Biden hiding stuff. Come on. Even though we had the video of Donald Trump basically, they were so close, whispering in each other's ear. Back in the day, I thought they were going to kiss. I'm talking about Trump. You know the one where he has the white man overbite. He's like, you know what I'm talking about. That one. And he's all in Jeffrey's ear, like right here with little Richard. Look how hot she is. Look at it. Oh, wow. Man, look at her. But they somehow, that video that was everywhere, maybe. Do you think they showed that video on Fox? Do you think they showed the video of him dancing? You guys, tell me you have never heard of the white man overbite or the white man wedding dance. You guys have heard the white man wedding dance with the legs locked, his knees locked, and he can't. You guys have seen that. Come on. That's him. That was before he did the two-hand whatever wanking. That was before that. He should go back to this, because that's more attractive than that. Somehow they didn't see. Well, just in case, because it's not just those guys. It's also, there are family members who, they were just so righteous. My gosh, Joe Biden, the Democrats, who are they covering up for? Release the information. Why aren't they outing and jailing these files? Who are they covering up for? Shouldn't the information be released? My father, my dad. Well, roll it.
How is it that my father can be convicted of 34 crimes, but no one on Epstein's list has even been brought to light? I'm trying to figure out how.
Pause that. Now, look, I've met Don Jr. I don't know him personally. Just met him a couple of times. I should put up some pictures of me at Trump Tower with him and his dad when I went to interview. He didn't sound like that. No, Trump like this, and how is it that my dad? Where did that come from? Is he trying to sound like his dad? Like what? It just sounds like what? How is it my father? If you guys notice how his inflections and his voice has changed over time? Am I the only one who's noticed that? He does. He's kind of got a mush mouth. It's bizarre. He is his father's son, says Wanda. All right, play it from the beginning, please, Andy. Here we go.
How is it that my father can be convicted of 34 crimes, but no one on Epstein's list has even been brought to light? I'm trying to figure out how that's possible, right, folks?
I don't know.
It's almost like they're trying to protect those pedophiles for some reason. I can't imagine why, right?
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
Everybody in politics has a vice that's much worse than alcoholism, is the way that I put it. But we
release the list.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump.
In this case, in Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, we have information, names that will come out.
I'm not ever going to let this story go because of what I heard from a source about Bill Clinton on a plane with Jeffrey Epstein. I'm not letting it go ever. Ever.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy? That is unbelievable.
I'm sorry. That last one really gets me because he is doing my impression of him a lot better. I mean, he makes it more comical than when I go, I don't know, never met that person. You guys know when I do that. I don't know him. To Project 2025? I never heard of Project 2025. Jeffrey Epstein, who's talking about him? Why does anybody care? Who's that Jeffrey? Who? What's his name? Jeffrey Epperson? What's his name? Huh? Who? That's exactly what it sounds like. Now, here's look, let me tell you, this is what the folks would say. All right. So anybody in this position, let's just say that you were doing an investigation, not even if you're a police officer, if you're trying to investigate something that happened at your home, if you're trying to investigate something that happened in your family, you're trying to figure out what went on with blah, blah, blah. If you are in your job and you're trying to figure something out, what do they call it? Is it Occam's razor? Is the most obvious is the answer? Is that right? I always get that.
Correct.
Occam's razor. Okay. So the most obvious, this is what people would say. If all of a sudden you are in power and you and everyone has been talking about Jeffrey Epstein forever, and your people have been talking about it forever and wanting it to be released, and that it's the Democrats and that there is a cover up, and then all of a sudden you're like, stop. We don't know. We have no idea, Jeffrey Epstein. Now, what would you say? What would you say? Now, this is telling. I think it's the right thing. Should we show the tweet now, right, Peter? This is the right thing, I believe. This is Donald Trump's thing. And this is what's making people suspicious. Because here's the thing. So when you're investigating something or someone, the bigger the tale or the story or the cover-up, the bigger the lie. Usually it's just like, you know what? I fell asleep when I was driving. Boom. I was driving, and then all of a sudden a possum came across the road. He jumped on the windshield. It got caught in the windshield, and and then all the blood started scraping on the windshield, and it was raining, and then I couldn't see, and then I spun around or whatever. When the thing is probably is that the simplest thing was that, you know what? I shouldn't have been driving, and I fell asleep. But when you come up with this big fucking tale, that means, that's when people start to go, Like Arsenio used to say, things that make you go, wow, okay. Old people be knowing. For the longest time. So here's Donald Trump. Now you tell me what you think when you hear this. Now remember all of that. You saw the wind up there. What's going on with my boys in some cases? Gals. What is this, the 1950? Like gals and broads and dolls and chicks. Oh, weird. What's going on with my boys in some cases? Gals. They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job. We're on the team. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration. Now, this is called shaping your own reality, which he often tries to do. And in some cases, he's very successful at it. We have a perfect administration. The talk of the world and selfish people are trying to hurt it all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama? Oh my God. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama? Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more. Holy fucking shit. Now, this is all, I told you, it's the Democrats' fault. Because didn't I tell you guys this? I mean, do you guys remember last week when I said, when MAGA sees that video of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, they don't see Donald Trump in there. They see Hillary Clinton. Look at Hillary Clinton with Donald Trump. You're like, no, no, look at Hillary Clinton with Jeffrey Epstein. I'm like, no, that's Donald Trump. No, it's not. It's Joe Biden. No, that's Donald Trump. No. It's Barack Obama. No, it is Donald Trump because, hold on, wait a minute. Oh, I took my MAGA glasses off. Yeah, oh my God, that is Donald Trump. Because you had your MAGA glasses on. And so with the MAGA glasses, what did you do? You saw everybody, as they say, but Donald Trump cozying up to Jeffrey Epstein. Remember, Occam's razor. And now it is being written by the Democrats. And we're going back to Russia. We've gone back to the laptop. We're back to the laptop. Now, what does this laptop have to do with anything from Jeffrey Epstein? Now, pretty soon, now you mark my words, they're going to try to put Hunter Biden in the Epstein files. Watch. If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? Donald Trump, hold on. I skipped over something. He's not making sense because now he's saying this is how dumb he is. He is actually contradicting his own reason for this tweet or excretion. What is it called? It's not an excretion. It's a truth total, as he says. He's refuting or contradicting the whole thing because if they did have something and they wrote it, don't you think the Democrats would put it out? Idiot. Okay, so here's what he says. 51 intelligence agencies, they created the Epstein files, just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton, Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me. And now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? Maybe they were trying to help you. Maybe they figured there's nothing in there. And maybe they didn't write them, as you say, with some sort of agenda to get you in trouble. Maybe they didn't. I can't believe he put that. He makes no sense. If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? Duh. Oh my God. I would have left that part out, Donald. That's not helping your cause. That's not helping the reason that you wrote this. They haven't even given up on the John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King Jr. files. Donald Trump, Democrats are not talking. They don't care about the conspiracy theories involved in those deaths. The reality is that both men died. Sadly, they were unalived. Okay, AI. And they believe that the killers have been brought to justice. And if there's any more evidence that comes to light, okay, we'll see it. But no one on the Democratic side that I know is pushing to have the Epstein or the JFK files and the Martin Luther King Jr. files released, except for the MAGA side and Candace Owens and other people who cannot stop talking about it. It was a conspiracy. There were more than whatever. It is your side, Donald Trump. It's not the Democrats. Now, perhaps the dumb MAGA brain folks will fall for it. Perhaps they will believe it. I don't know. No matter how much success we have had, securing the border, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, energy dominance, a safer world. None of this shit is true, by the way. Okay, but anyways, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons. That's not true. Let's hope they don't, but we know what the reports are showing from that. It's never enough for some people. We are about to achieve more in 6 months than any other administration has achieved in over 100 years. Bullshit. And we have so much more to do. Yeah, you have a lot to do. We are saving our country and making America great again, which will continue to be our complete priority. The left is imploding. Kash Patel and the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, the rigged and stolen election of 2020, and arresting thugs and criminals instead of spending month after month looking at nothing but the same old radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. Thou doth protest too much. Thou doth protest too much. Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen, and they tried to do the same thing in 2024. That's what she is looking into as AG and much more. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Now it's the hottest country. Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. The hottest country in the world is America. He sounds like Stephon on Saturday Night Live. It's got, in the middle of the Hudson River, it's got MAGA. This is comedy gold. SNL, why aren't you in session? Because I would love to see what you did with this. Actually, you can't beat reality. Now our country is the hottest country anywhere in the world. So let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, you guys, he may think nobody cares about Jeffrey Epstein. By the way, all of this is bullshit. This is thou doth protest too much. This is, he's telling on himself. He is confessing. Every accusation is a confession. Everything that he's accusing pretty much the Democrats of here is what's happening with him. And that's so for all of you who are now sort of open to criticism for the MAGA people, the MAGA administration for Donald Trump, let me just tell you, every accusation is a confession. All right. So just remember that now that maybe you're like kind of over on the normal, rational side, like you're realizing. And I do believe that this has broken the spell for many in the MAGA movement. I do believe that. I don't know if it's the end, but it's always the oddest things that end. You don't expect it when someone when there's a downfall of someone or something happens, you never expect the thing. The thing that you expect to bring them down is not the thing. It's a thing that you least expect. You dig one ditch, you better dig two. Because the next ditch you dig just might be for you. Now, some people will say you dig one grave, you better dig two, because the next one you dig just might be for you. So it's always a thing that takes folks down like that they least expect. Okay? Now, he says that nobody cares about Jeffrey Epstein. Nobody. Would you guys like to see some facts on that nobody? I have so much here. My goodness, I have so much here that I want to play for you. Okay? Do you guys want to hear? Do you want me to hear? You want to hear all the stuff that I have for you? It is a doozy of all the things and all the interest and all the people who are talking about it, we have just scratched the surface. Okay? So give me a moment. I want to take a time out for a quick sponsor break here. Okay? So support for the Don Lemon Show today comes from Lean. Have you heard of Caralluma? Have you heard of that? A Caralluma? Have you? It's an edible cactus that grows in India, and it is natural appetite suppressant. Okay? Caralluma is just one of the natural ingredients doctors added to this remarkable weight loss supplement called Lean. If you have bold summer weight loss goal, you have one, but you know all of the injections and stuff, they aren't working for you. Here's what doctors who formulated Lean said. They said this supplement is as close as we've come to the benefits of those popular injections that you all talk about. Like injections, Lean was created to help maintain healthy blood sugar and help control appetite and cravings. But the rare ingredients in Lean are also designed to help burn fat by converting fat into energy. And the best part, no needles, just real results. Doctors created a healthier way to lose weight by capturing the power of natural ingredients like Caralluma. It's just smart. So let's get you started with 20% off. Just use the code LEMON20 at takelean.com. That's code LEMON20 at takelean.com. Okay? So here's something that I have to say. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease, and it's not a substitute or alternative for care from a healthcare provider, okay? So check with your doctor, as always. Support for the Don Lemon Show also comes today from the Freedom from Religion Foundation. All these stories that you're hearing, you're out and about. Oh my gosh, I was out and about this weekend, and all the things I'm hearing, I had to, wow, it was so interesting. I had to inform a lot of people about what's happening in New York around Mamdani and, you know, what they say he's done and who they say he is and what Donald Trump is doing and the Epstein files. That's all we talked about. That's all we talked about. And there were so many people who I came into contact with who were so misinformed because they had been listening to a lot of the things on the right, a lot of dogma, a lot of religious dogma as well. Religion has a lot to do, guys, as you know, with what's happening in New York. And there are lots of folks, even beyond that, who are saying that the U.S. is founded as a Christian nation and pushing their religion into classrooms, courtrooms, and even your doctor's office. In Arizona, the voters have just protected abortion rights in that state's constitution. Politicians are trying to undermine that. There are states that are trying to put the 10 Commandments in every public school classroom. There are states that are trying to strip Medicare coverage of gender-affirming care for all ages. This isn't about beliefs, it's about power, and it's happening under the banner of Christian nationalism. That's where the Freedom from Religion Foundation comes in. They have been defending church-state separation since 1978 in the courts, in the schools, and wherever religion tries to take the wheel. If you believe government should serve everyone, not just the religious right, then join them. Go to ffrf.us/freedom and text my name, Don, to 511-511 and become a member today. Join us and go to ffrf.us/freedom or text Don to 511-511 now, because the only story that should run this country is ours, not theirs. Text fees may apply. Okay, here we go. This is the second half, or as our friends over at the Majority Report, Sam Cedar, as we call it, the fun half. This is the fun part of our show. All of it's fun, but this is the fun part of our show. So here we go. So I showed you what Donald Trump said in that tweet, which really he is exposing himself and perhaps his perhaps alleged, reported, possible involvement in what happened. We know that he's friends with Jeffrey Epstein. You heard from his brother. Okay? Check this out. This is NBC reporting Trump faces a revolt from his MAGA base over Epstein. That's the NBC reporting. The Washington Post is reporting Epstein outcry prompts warning to Trump. The wheels are falling off, folks. Here's NBC News again. Bongino weighing resignation after Epstein fallout. Also, you saw the Trump post about Epstein this weekend that we showed. And then, of course, we have the evidence. I just want to put a little bit of this up. And this is a thing that I've been talking about. This is Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein I want to show this because I want you to see the men together. That's the one where I said they're so close. Look at him. And then he does the whole dance. So this is just video evidence. There it is right there. Okay. And that's him with them. And then later Epstein, and that's the overbite part. There he is. And then Epstein walks into the party later. Okay. So there you go. And there's evidence, but they don't see that. Okay, Andy, that's enough. They don't see that. They see somebody else at that party with Jeffrey Epstein, but they don't see Donald Trump. They don't see Donald Trump. Elon Musk. Let's put up the tweet from Elon Musk. Again, I like to show evidence. Seriously, Elon Musk said. He said Epstein half a dozen times while telling everyone to stop talking about Epstein. Just release the files as promised. That's Elon Musk. Now, you guys remember, we don't have the original tweet with Elon Musk, right? I don't know. But you remember that original tweet with Elon Musk where he said, by the way, Donald, you're in the Epstein files, or have a good day, DJT. Do you guys remember that one? Y'all remember that one? And now he's saying, seriously? He said Epstein half a dozen times while telling everyone to stop talking about Epstein? Just release the files as promised. Thank you, SS Boxers. The girls are fighting again. The girls are fighting again. Again. Just release the list. Candace Owens. Here's Candace Owens tweeting, blasting. Candace Owens says, okay, so Donald Trump, this is the original tweet right below, like what's going on with my gals and girls, right? Is that the one she's responding to? Yeah, boys and gals, guys and dolls, gals and broads. Okay, so Barack Obama wrote the Epstein files? LOL. That's her like, what? This is outright embarrassing. This is Candace Owens, everybody. Barack Obama wrote the Epstein files. This is outright embarrassing. Candace Owens, get Candace Owens on the line. Should we get Candace Owens back on the show? Do you guys want Candace Owens back on the show? Because you know she's going to do something wild, but I don't know. Candace trying to redeem herself is peak 2025. Okay. That was Candace Owens. Now, these are all Trump stands. All Trump stands. This is a Newsmax host tweet blasting Trump Epstein post. So this is Emerald Robinson. I've never heard of her. It's a her? Yeah, I've never heard of her. You can't say the Epstein list is fake and made up by Democrats when you campaigned on releasing that list in 2016 and 2024, and your own AG said, the list is on my desk last month, and your own FBI director said, we need to release the list. Your credibility is at stake. Emerald, talk your shit, girl. I don't know Emerald, but I think Emerald's right. I think Emerald's right on this one. And I'm not talking about Emerald Lagasse. I'm talking about Emerald, what's her name? Emerald Robinson. Apparently she is a Newsmax host. Benny Johnson. Now, you guys, I've just become familiar with Benny Johnson. He's the guy that wears the black T-shirts or whatever all the time, and is, you know, the little glasses or whatever. And anyways, he was a major Trump stand. It's just like, oh my God, orange. His lips, his whole face was just orange from kissing so much Trump ass. Benny Johnson expressing disbelief over Trump's Epstein post. Here it is.
Okay. So President Trump has acknowledged that the Epstein files exist here. President Trump has acknowledged that the files were written and that there is something there. He says that they were written, however, by his enemies and therefore will not be released. Whoa, what? That's new in this entire zeitgeist. This is something that is wildly interesting. And then he goes all in on supporting Kash Patel and Pam Bondi. No mention of Dan Bongino, where all of this, again, sort of transpired.
A hat tip to Benny Johnson for that. But basically, really a hat trip for his diction, written. I love good diction, good grammar. I have so many things in my head. I am not going to say it. Do not. Stop it, people. Stop it. Stop it. I'm not saying it. Say it, Don. No, I'm not saying it. I'm not gonna say it. This is a MAGA loving comedian. I think he's like one of the pro-Trump stan people, saying that Trump covered up for what files. Okay? AI, we can't say it. Here it is. So
low-hanging fruit of, you guys like Trump. This guy said bad things about Trump. Listen, guys, I'm a free American. I supported Donald Trump in this last election. Yes, he did just actively cover up a giant child rapist ring, and I'm going to criticize him for that, okay? And I'm sorry, after all these years of us right-wingers saying, protect the children, come on, that's bad for your soul if you don't. You speak up about that. It's horrible what he's doing.
Wait, aren't these the same guys that helped to get Donald Trump elected? Yes, they are. You guys remember I was out there. You were all like, Don, where are you finding these people? Oh, my gosh. Someone said, Don, just say it. I can't say it. Don't make me say it. These are the guys, when I was going around on college campuses, they were listening to these guys who have these, these podcasts, these comedians with the podcast and the streamers and the whatever, the YouTubers. That's who they were listening to. And now all of those people, how quickly they turn, right, Casual Observer? They turn. KM says, I like good dictation too. You know where I was going. Anyways, so, but how did they not know? That's what I don't understand. Did they really fall for all of that? They really fell for it, which is shocking to me. I can't believe that they really, really fell for that. It's unbelievable. At least to moi. At least to moi. Now, hold on to your seats, because anyways, do you know what writers over at Fox News? They just got it good. Without any help or protection, if you know what I mean. But all of a sudden, they're fucking around and finding out, and they have to admit it. Here it is.
Lots and lots of questions that have been swirling about Jeffrey Epstein for a long time, for over 10 years, and the government's involvement in it. If there's anybody who could walk in and say, okay, we've resolved all of the questions and there is nothing here, it would be President Trump and his crew. The problem is you can't really do it without giving some explanation, and there has to be some explanation, and I think that's why you have a lot of people still pretty with a lot of very valid questions about it.
You absolutely nailed it. You can defuse this ticking time bomb if you simply get out there, sit down, the AG, get the deputy director, and get the director himself. Put them in front of cameras, have them make a statement, and have them answer questions. We're only talking about 5 or 10 questions. But what this will do is, first of all, restores confidence. Number 2, it answers some of the basics, especially the simple things like, you can't tell me that 1,000 people were hurt and that there are no people out there that we can arrest. You can't tell me that, oh, sorry, we don't have a list. Fine, don't have a list. Tell me who the perpetrators were. Let's depose every single person who might have had a chance to get on that list and might have been out there at that island, and let's talk to them. Let's find out what happened. You're telling me other videos out there in New Mexico and at the island and in New York, and nobody saw anything? I don't buy it, and that's why they need to get out there and face the fire. Doesn't have to be long. But you have to answer questions to the American people, because absent that, the story won't die, and that's a distraction the president doesn't want.
Of course, and in that True Social that he put out, he talked about all his accomplishments. Yeah. And he's saying, why let's not let this overcome. And I think he doesn't want that. I think his supporters don't want that. And I think that's why they want just some simple answers.
Yeah. And of course, he's right about that. I mean,
there's no question.
None of this mars any of the extraordinary accomplishments, and we want to keep going.
That's right.
All right.
They couldn't help it. At the end, they had to put a little button. And none of this mars the extraordinary accomplishments that we have. You're out of your mind. What extraordinary accomplishments? What the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? Tiffany Nagany says, Rick Wilson said his sources are telling him Susie Wiles is directing this cover-up. Interesting. I love hearing from the MAGA folks that now I'm getting joy out of this. Okay, so I want to take you now to the big TPAC, the big Turning Points USA conference that happened this weekend. Boy, oh boy. So Don Jr., but the one that Don Jr. was at, I think that was TPAC, but that was a while ago. That was like 2024, I think. Okay? And so now I'm going to take you this year to the one that just happened over the weekend. And you're going to hear from the person who is behind it. And that's Charlie Kirk. This is his thing. A CPAC, not TPAC, right? Am I wrong? Is it CPAC or Turning Points USA? Which one is this? The CPAC, and then is it the same? I don't know. I don't know what this is. But this is Charlie Kirk over the weekend. Here it is.
Reporting is Bongino. It's Bongino or Bondi. He's not.
Who
saying,
would you guys prefer, Bongino or Bondi? Okay, 7,000 to 0.
They want Dan. Of course, Dan. You know why? Because Dan understands MAGA. Dan's part of the MAGA movement. Dan's been an important piece of it and a mouthpiece for like really important ideas and an advocate and a fierce warrior. He's been in the trenches. I mean, with all due respect to Pam Bondi, she's been in Florida. She represented the president. It's nice, but do you think she really gets MAGA? I don't think so. She wouldn't have behaved this way if she did. And now it's a time for choosing. It's a time for choosing.
Well, Megyn Kelly said more than he did, but here's the thing that she or Charlie or no one has said. Pam Bondi had the opportunity when she was the AG in Florida to do something about it. And she didn't. And that just adds to the bullshit that you know that it's bullshit. So if she was in Florida, she could have done something about it. And now she's at the Attorney General of the United States. Could have done something about it. Did nothing. Laura Ingraham, woo, at CPAC. That's right, CPAC. Here it is.
How many of you are satisfied? You can clap. Satisfied with the results of the Epstein investigation? Clap. Okay, I told you to clap. You guys aren't listening. I'm not going to grade you on a curve. So I was going to get to that. How many of you are not satisfied with the results of the investigation?
I'm telling you, they're turning on themselves. And every time Donald Trump tries to do something, we're going to tell you, you guys have heard about the Streisand effect, right? We're going to tell you about that. But here's the thing. Okay, that's Laura Ingraham. Okay? More CPAC, and then I'm going to get to some other things about when they say nobody cares about it. This is more CPAC. Attendee tells Steve Bannon that Trump is protecting you-know-whats. Here it is.
Agree with a special prosecutor has to be an independent special prosecutor has to take over. Do you believe that DOJ and FBI right now, with the guys who are all close to Pam Bondi, Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, do you think they have any credibility left to pursue this?
No, and I'll tell you exactly why, Steve, because in 2016, we trusted the plan with Trump. But now Trump has become the deep state. The exact thing we voted him in.
Why do you say he's become the deep state?
What is more deep state than covering up for pedophiles? Why would you go to that island? Why? Tell me, why would you go to that island? Why would you go on the plane?
Woo! All right, that's all good, but did they not know before? I mean, people with a brain knew. People who are not part of a cult knew. People who aren't grifting in the media knew. People who aren't just trying to cozy up to power, we all knew. But all of a sudden now, they're having this epiphany? Really? Okay, so let me just show you this. Donald Trump says nobody cares. You guys know what the Google is. Are you guys on the Google machine? You guys are all on the Google machine, right? Put this up. This is a Google searches for Epstein files or Trump Epstein. Look at that. Look at that. Look how it's gone up. No interest, right? look, kind of flatlined, and then boom. Look how it's gone up. Interesting. From July 5th, basically flatlined. It's gone up 100% among Democrats and about 65% among Republicans. Oh, no. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Just in general, it's not even Republicans. I got that wrong. I read it wrong. Trump Epstein has gone up 100% among everybody, just searches overall. Epstein files has gone up about 65%. Overall, everybody's searching. You guys know what that is, right? Put up the Streisand effect so we can just see what that is. So Donald Trump is telling everybody there's nothing to see here, move along. So the Streisand effect happened back in 2005. That's when the term was coined. But it was 2003, Barbara Streisand's house in Malibu. They were trying to show beach erosion, and she was fighting to get this picture of her house taken off of the internet or off of searches. And it brought more attention to it than if she had just not said anything. So just scrolling a little bit. Streisand's effect is unintended consequences of attempts to hide, remove, or censor information where the effort instead increases public awareness of the information. The term was coined in 2005 by Mike Banzig after Barbara Streisand attempted to suppress publication of a photograph showing her cliff-top residence in Malibu taken to document coastal erosion in California, inadvertently drawing far greater attention to the previously obscure photograph. And so Donald Trump has done that. This is the reason why many people who are public figures will just let misinformation stand out there if someone publishes or writes about it, because if they respond to it, then it draws more attention to it. And so the conventional wisdom is just to shut up and let it smolder rather than throwing fuel on the fire. So Donald Trump has now thrown fuel on the fire, and he has created a Streisand effect around Jeffrey Epstein. Okay? Don't believe me? Let's take a little look. This is my former colleague over at the CNN, Harry Inton. Epstein Google searches and polling. Here it is.
What a massive unforced error by the Trump administration. Donald Trump would love this story to go away, but in fact, interest is climbing higher and higher, to quote Jackie Wilson. Look at this. Google searches for Epstein up
1,200%. Good going, Donald. 1,200%. Oh my God, he's gotta love that. Well, are you guys? It's CNN. That they should fire that reporter. Does CNN have anything positive to say? It's a damn shame that CNN is still on the air and whatever. We're going to yank their licenses. Reporters tell them they're the fake news. Nobody watches them. Keep going, Harry.
1,200% this week versus last. And get this, it is currently the top topic search with Trump on Google alongside his presidency. So Donald Trump normally, leans into stories in which there's controversy, like tariffs, for example. This is a story in which he's trying to get away from, basically saying, why is anyone still interested in this story? But the bottom line is people are very interested in this story to historic degrees, at least this week.
Oh my God. You see that 1,200 number. I think that's enough. And then there's polling as well. But I think that's enough of that. It's crazy, right? This is nuts. Now, let me show you. This is a Home of the Brave. Home of the Brave, which I think is an offshoot of the Bulwark, if I'm not mistaken. And they are talking, this is an Epstein ad that they are running. Here it is.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah, Donald, we are still talking about Jeffrey Epstein. Why? Maybe it's because Epstein said he was your closest friend.
That was closest friend.
Or that you repeatedly flew on Epstein's private jet. Or that you called Jeffrey Epstein a terrific guy who likes beautiful women as much as I do. And many of them are on the younger side. Or that your Secretary of Labor was the prosecutor who let Epstein avoid federal sex trafficking charges. Or that when Epstein's co-conspirator was arrested for facilitating the sexual abuse of minors, you said that
I just wish her well.
Or that Elon Musk, your biggest donor and White House senior advisor, said you were in the Epstein files. Or that your attorney general said,
Breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released. A lot of names, a lot of information.
Or that your FBI director said,
on day one, roll out the black book. This doesn't look right. It doesn't look like a suicide.
Or that your deputy director of the FBI said,
That Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. These assets, that's why this blackmail story makes so much sense.
So, Donald, the reason everyone is still talking about Jeffrey Epstein is because Americans want answers.
Good job, home of the brave. Americans want answers. Okay, so let's talk about, again, we played this before, but I just cannot, I get so much joy out of this because I had no idea who this guy was until, I started doing the streaming thing, and occasionally it'll pop up on my algorithm. I'm like, who's this guy? He's so dumb. He knows nothing. And I think I have been proven right, because all of a sudden, all of the folks who are him on his podcast and all the people who are associated with just Trump dick riders. And then now, maybe it hurt, maybe it didn't, but I think it hurts now. Here are the Trump Glazers and how quickly they change. Here it is.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? We have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
So we're stupid.
Yeah.
We're the fuck.
Yeah. Yes. You're right. He answered his own question. We're stupid. We're the fucking idiots, he says. Yep. You are. Because you rode this whole Trump thing. And if you're a young guy, I would assume that you know better, but I mean, perhaps, I don't know. Actually, every time I listen to this guy, I see him on he is, I can't believe people take him seriously. I hate to say that about anyone. I usually don't say that about, at least like there's some redeeming qualities about Candace Owens. She's right sometimes. And she's a fairly intelligent person. This dude, I'm like, okay. He's like one of those people. He does the Stephen A. Smith way. He loves to talk about shit that he doesn't know anything about. He just like makes up shit, or like it's just he has no idea. But it helps. It fits his narrative, and it helps him. Okay, keep going.
Idiots, guys. That is, I think, what is enraging people right now is it's insulting our intelligence. Like, obviously, the intelligence community is trying to cover it up. Obviously, the Trump administration is trying to cover up. Something changed because they ran on this idea of exposing it all. All these guys had great ideas. Cockeyed Cash, Dan Bongino.
He had clips, Doug. He had bars.
He was ready to tear it all down. He was ready to tear down the entire FBI office.
Shut down the Hoover building day one. Day one. That bitch still standing.
And then he goes on Joe Rogan and he's like, listen, do you think if I had it, I wouldn't share it with you?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I do believe that 100%, especially when you're staring at me like this, telling me that. Once you protect pedophiles, you are the most cockeyed person in the entire world.
So one of two things, in my mind, is possible. One, you're covering it up. Or two, nothing really happened and you exploited the rape of thousands of children to get your man elected. So which one do you want here?
Okay, that dude is right. But I mean, also, wasn't that the guy that like talked shit and got in trouble, like talking shit about black women? He said some dumb shit about black women. I think that's the same guy. But the one guy at the end, the brown guy, was right. I'll give him that. But how did they not? Let me ask you guys, how did you not know that from jump? Or you did, and it's the same thing for you as what the guy just said on there, that you didn't care and you were either covering up that, oh my God, now you have to cover your ass because you fucked up, right? That means you're dumb, or you knew from the beginning and you were grifting off of it. Now, which one is it? Because most sane people, most people who are somewhere in the middle of the political spectrum believe in facts, don't want to just go to websites or places just so they could have their own biases confirmed. Most people who actually give a shit about what's happening, really happening in society, and they know what being woke really means. So the folks who were woke, the original definition, the real definition, knew what the fuck was happening. And the folks who were talking shit about woke from your fake ass definition did not know what was happening. So those tinfoil hats, all right. But I mean, or maybe they should get like a dunce hat. Remember those back in the day with the cone? That's what they should do. Because they love cozying up to power. Regardless of what, it's just the power clicks money. Democrats are actually campaigning off of it. And you know what? They're messaging off of it. And they should. John Ossoff.
President Trump promised to end the wars. He promised to release the Epstein files. Did anyone really think the sexual predator president who used to party with Jeffrey Epstein was going to release the Epstein files?
And he is not wrong. He is not wrong. And that's what Democrats should be doing. Yeah, they should be. That's what they should be doing. Yeah. That's what they should be doing. So now what? Because I don't think this is over. I know it's not over. And again, I will tell you guys, the thing that you think is going to take someone down is usually not the thing. It's the least expected thing. And they created this themselves. And usually, let's just be honest. It is usually a self-inflicted wound that does it. For everybody. For everyone. And you know, this is where we are. Now, you tell me if you think this is the end of it. I don't. Look, I think that is in an odd way. I talked about this on Friday, and I've been saying this in an odd way. This could be the beginning of the end. I believe it is the beginning of the end. Either it outright takes Donald Trump down or it breaks the spell. And I do believe at the very least, it has broken the spell where people are waking up and realizing that they fucked up. Now, you know, when you get to a place where it's like if a friend betrays you, a spouse or a partner or girlfriend or what boyfriend cheats on you, or a wife, husband, and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit. Have I been living a lie? Have I been living a lie? And then you get angry. And you go through the stages of grief, and then all of a sudden there's acceptance. So right now there is the anger and the outrage stage. But it is jarring, it's shocking in the beginning. You're like, have I been living a lie? And then you start thinking about all the times that, well, they said they were here, but maybe they were there. And is she, you know, it's my best friend that they're whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then you're like, damn, how could I be such a fool? And you start blaming yourself and beating yourself up. And you know what I mean? So I believe the spell is broken. I believe the spell is broken. And Donald Trump, you in danger, girl. Pam Bondi, you in danger, girl. I'm just saying. And now they put themselves in a position where if they don't talk about it, people are going to be outraged. And if they do talk about it, people are going to be outraged, and it puts them in a bad position, and perhaps something comes out that they won't. So you know that old saying, the old saying. Y'all, who knows what I'm saying? They're damned if they do, and they're damned if they don't. So now what? Now what? We're in a position now where Pam Bondi may be on thin ice, but I've talked to some people this weekend. They say they don't believe he's going to get rid of Pam Bondi. That you've got Dan Bongino saying it's me or her. Kash Patel, similarly, reportedly, both of them. Although, I mean, do you really think that they're going to step down? I don't know. Damned if they do, damned if they don't. And then you have the Epstein family demanding some answers. And the brother come out on this very program and said he believes that Donald Trump had something to do with the death of his brother, that he would not be surprised. Roll it.
All this information. No one's been able to come out and say this is definitely suicide with any facts. Without disputing Dr. Bannon, who has done about 500 autopsies, prison autopsies, and I don't know how many Dr. Roman did, the city pathologist, but it's certainly more than one, as opposed to Kash Patel, who has, I would imagine, 0 autopsy experience.
Mm-hmm. When you saw that interview with them, I think there was a couple of interviews. The one thing with Maria Bartiromo, where they sat down, and I mean, they were glum, and they're saying there's nothing there. I would be honest with you, there's nothing there. After years and years of pushing, and also calling this somehow a Democrat, according to them, conspiracy theory, and that somehow the Democrats were involved in your brother's death.
I don't think the Democrats look at it this way. Bill Barr, when he came out with that ridiculous statement, he was the Attorney General. Who did he look? If Jeffrey was murdered, which I believe he was, somebody did it. So the people who are coming out with these ridiculous statements, I think, are covering up for somebody, right? So who are they covering up for? Bill Barr worked for the President of the United States. Kash Patel works for the President of the United States. Pam Bondi works for the President of the United States. Maybe someone should ask him what he knows.
Who do you think they're covering up for?
Who do they all work for?
They all work for Donald Trump.
Well, like I said in another interview, I wouldn't be surprised.
You wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump was behind your brother's death? Are you saying that Donald Trump had your brother murdered, do you believe?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying if that's what it was, I wouldn't be surprised. We know that Jeffrey had dirt on Donald Trump. We know that. That's a fact. Because he said in 2016 with the election that if he said what he knew, they'd have to cancel the election. He didn't tell me what he knew, but that's what he said. And I've been public about that before. That shouldn't come as a shock.
Dirt like what? Dirt about what?
Of course, Steve Bannon said that the only person he feared for Donald Trump's sake was Jeffrey Epstein. Why? What do you think? Jeffrey was going to beat him up? No, it's because of what Jeffrey knew.
There you go. And what did Jeffrey know? There you go. There you go. Now, his words, not my words. Oh, boy. Again, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the like. Become a member. I want to welcome all of our new members. Some of you have been joining as we were doing the show today, and I'm so happy that you have been. Jen Carley, welcome to the Elimination. Thank you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Andrea Pinkney. Oh, 7 more months. Member. Good morning, Don. Still waiting on my socks. Texas. You haven't gotten those socks? I have to check on it. See what's going on. East Coast transplant. They know he's 1,000% guilty. Please, child. Again, that's what you guys are saying. All the new members, welcome. Welcome Leah G to the Elimination, or Lee G, or Ray Rod, welcome to the Elimination. Donna Affarel, welcome to the Elimination. William Brown, boy, Barkley is happy to have William Brown and Miss Offerell as members of the Elimination. So welcome. Martyr and Pestle says, New York's hottest club is Dump. It's got bribe jets, sexy couches, a Mickey D's ball pit full of hamburgers, and free copies of Epstein files, maybe. Don't miss the loop of Josh Hawley in a diaper running in the Senate chamber. New York's hottest club is called Dump. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Look, the subscribe button is in the lower right hand of the screen, right near the where you see the comments scrolling. So make sure you subscribe, and thank you all for becoming a member, and thank you for following us and being part of the Elimination. Check this out. Go to donlemon.com. Get me the DL thing too, if you can, please, quickly. Go to donlemon.com. If you are interested in what we have on the site, you can go to donlemon.com and you can click on merch. If you click on merch, it'll take you right to our merch store. All right. And it'll give you some of the things, including this hat and others, all the popcorn, the socks that someone in there says, I'm gonna have to check on those socks. I think it's Casual Observer or someone who doesn't have their socks. So I'll continue to check on that. You can get the fan that folks love, the #1 seller, and the hat, I believe, is becoming the #1 seller from me talking about it. So check that out. And then you can also go there and it'll give you a membership. You can check out. We have some great merch, by the way. You can go there. You can go to our Substack as well. We're streaming on Substack right now. You can go check that out. There we are. Boom, right there on the Substack going live. And then you can go to wherever we are, iHeart, Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever we are streaming, you can go there as well. Just by clicking on it. Of course, at the top, it's the YouTube. Our big show is on the YouTube, okay? So make sure you check it out. Also, I want to tell you, on August 12th, this is where you need to be, all right? So you better get it now. This is where you need to be, and that is DL and DL Episode 2, back by popular demand, or as he would say, black by popular demand, at City Winery right here in New York. We're going to put quickly, if you can, put the link at the top of the chat, and you guys can go and grab your tickets to DL and DL Anything Goes, Episode 2, Don Lemon and DL Hughley. August 12th, 7:30. Doors open at 6 o'clock at the City Winery right here in New York, in the New York City. Okay, right on the water, in the Hudson River, right there. It was a great night we had a couple weeks ago. So many people were there, and people loved it so much. We're bringing it back. And we're going to try to come to other places, but come to New York. New York is great in the summer. It's great. It's great. See, my dogs agree. So make sure you check it out. DL and DL Episode 2 happening August 12th, 7:30 p.m. at City Winery. Okay. Okay, Barkley. He is his name. So anyway, I appreciate you guys joining us. We're going to see you back here. I went long today. We're going to see you back here at 5 o'clock Eastern time. We're live twice a day. My gosh. We are working for you. Okay? So thank you to Chantel ZP. Isn't there a Democrat that is going to force a vote to release the files? We'll see if they're going to. We'll see it up. And 42 Knit 1, welcome to the Elimination, as well as all the other new members. We appreciate it. Okay? Thank you for your support. And I'll see you right here back at 5 o'clock live. You don't have to be sitting in front of the television all day, getting outraged. You can turn off the notifications. You can get it. You can be informed without being inundated, as I said. So until then, here's what I want you to do. Turn the TV off. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never, ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.